Hello friends and beautiful people. So we are at the Amish farm today. This is a kind of do or die thing. We have come down to talk to Cousin Willie and see if we can come to an agreement on his portion of the farm. And we'll tell you, I want to show you why there's hesitation from us. Let me turn you around. This is Cousin Willie's barn and it's on 2 acres. And there's the Amish farm. All right, so if you look, property line is right here. So he had a business in this barn, and if someone else, and he's got he wants to sell it, so if someone else had a business there, it would be right on us. There's the house. So that's why the hesitation right now. It looks like we're gonna have to drive over to Cousin Willie's house. He is not here right now. He sold all the equipment out of the barn, and in doing so he kind of totally screwed up this whole field here. It's really not worth anything, except for this building is perfect for some of the things that Hubs wants to do for the aquaponics and just for his shop, his blacksmith shop. Let's see, see the outhouse back there? But it is a nice big barn. It had all kinds of equipment in it, and they totally destroyed it when they emptied it. So we'll let you know how it goes. I think we're headed over to Cousin Willie's house. Till next time. Alrighty friends, we're home. We finally found, well, we got a hold of Cousin Willie. He wasn't home. We did see his farm though, because he had wanted to sell us his farm. He had 26 acres. But his hasn't been wired for electric. The Amish farm we were looking at had been wired, just not hooked up. So, and it was pristine. It was brand new. So the whole goal today was to see if we were still interested. The house, they dropped the price. We would have saved another $30,000 on it. And something happened. I really don't want to go into all the details. But a couple of Sundays ago, their realtor reached out to the realtor who was selling our house and wanted to bypass the realtor that we had gone through to make the offer, and it was shady. So we were kind of like, God's hand isn't in this, and so we found Cousin Willie today. Like I said, the goal was to decide, since they had dropped the price so much, whether or not we wanted to do it. And I showed you the property line, and that's a big concern for us. Another part of that concern is that the water, they had county water hooked up, which is crazy because it's in the middle of nowhere. They had county water hooked up. So Cousin Willie's barn was part of the original farm, his 2 acres, and when they listed it for sale, they deeded that over to him so that because he was running a business out of there, and so he was on that water. And if they leave it split the way it is, and Cousin Willie sells to one person, they sell to someone else, then whoever buys Cousin Willie's property has to get their own water tap, and whoever buys the Amish farm that we were looking at would have to have someone come in and cut off Cousin Willie and tap it off. Long story short, Cousin Willie still wants between $120,000 and $140,000 for his 2 acres and barn that's in okay shape but not great shape, which is more than double what the realtors are all telling us it's worth. So today we just kind of washed our hands of it. It gave us closure. A little sad, but not really. The big thing about the Amish farm was that it was pristine. It was absolutely the most beautiful Amish kitchen I've ever seen, because usually they're not that great. So, and it was just a rough day for me before we even got there. We stopped and saw my birth dad's grave. And when the kids were little, we used to actually, my mom owns a bunch of property down that way, and my real dad, my birth dad, is buried down there. And when the kids were little, we would camp down there at least one weekend a month, and we kept it looking like a park. She's got about 68 acres, 70 acres, somewhere around in there, and the kids could just run wild. I never had to worry about them. And my dad's grave, I had planted a bunch of perennials around it. My stepdad, who I refer to as my dad, he helped us put a nice fence around it, and it was just, it was really beautiful up there. And to see it where it's at now, my mom had leased it out to some hunters, gosh, 15, 20 years ago, and basically told my brother and I we shouldn't go down there anymore because we would get shot by the hunters. And it's a whole family drama thing, but I had always wanted to build down there. So seeing that property in the shape that it's in now, because no one has done anything with it, seeing my dad's grave, my birth dad's grave, the way it is, it was emotional. And then just as the memories were flooding back of everything from Pops, which is my stepdad, the one I sometimes refer to as my dad. He's the only one I've ever known. And then thinking about the kids and just the memories down there, it was a little overwhelming for me, so I had to take a minute. But I got myself together before we, I had plenty of time before we got down to the Amish farm. So as it stands right now, we're going to keep looking, and we are 100% sure that God's got something for us. We just are waiting for him to show us what that is. So I guess that's where we are, but that's why the hesitation. That's why we were waffling and going back and forth, because we really, the one thing that we really were afraid of was Cousin Willie, and if another company or business goes in there, you really lose all of your security. And he's already had, he did tell us he's had people break into the barn. But it's funny because, you know, we looked at his farm. Here he is trying to undersell his, I guess it'd be his brother-in-law and his sister. But he wanted us to look at his farm, and it was a beautiful setting, but he wants too much for it as well. And, you know, God's got something for us, so just pray for us. Till next time, be blessed and be a blessing.